Hello and welcome to another Capture the Flag edition of Daryl Show Your Work, episode 137 to be exact. All right, so in these next set of videos that I'll be doing over the course of the next few days here, I want to focus on post-exploitation enumeration, but doing it more in a manual sense, all right, and focusing on Windows-based clients. Okay, so what I'm basically going to be looking for once I successfully exploit a target host is I'm gonna be looking for the host name, operating system name, the build and service pack of that operating system, the architecture of the operating system, any installed updates or hot fixes. And all of this is ultimately it's important because these type of details are what's going to enable me or any sort of ethical or non-ethical hacker to be able to elevate their privileges. All right. So since I'm talking about exploitation, post-exploitation activities, I'm going to preface this video with my usual disclaimer by saying that this is for ethical research and educational purposes only. Any sort of malicious activity that may directly or indirectly come from someone watching my video, I don't take responsibility for, nor do I condone. All right, so I've already done some pre-recording discovery here where my IP address is 10.10.48.7 and our target is 10.3.22.85. All right, so let's copy this target here. I'm just waiting for my system to catch up. All right, there we go. All right, let's move this guy over here. You gonna cooperate today? All right, it's kind of cooperating. He's thinking about it. There we go. All right. Okay, so first things first, let's do some active recon and start enumerating some ports here on our target host to determine what method of exploitation I'm going to go with here, what vulnerabilities we could find as far as exploit, as far as what to exploit. So again, this is going to be focusing more on post exploitation enumeration. So I'm not going to be focusing a whole lot on the vulnerability and the exploitation in itself. All right, so I'm just looking for whatever low hanging fruit I can for us to hurry up to be able to get into the target host here and then begin enumerating the target host once we're inside. I forgot to mention this is a simple service version scan. All right, so um, it's just going to return to me whatever services are running on the open ports here. So again, if there's any version specific or service version specific um, vulnerabilities present here, I can pick up on that and look for any related modules to exploit those vulnerabilities. All right, so we have quite a few um, exploits going on here. All right, so let's see. Let's see. I see that it looks like we have that HTTP file server 2.3. All right, so more than likely that's our good buddy Rejetto being hosted, and we can verify that. Let's take a visit to the IP address there and just verify that it's indeed running that Rejetto uh, HTTP file server. Let's click on here. Bam, Rejetto. Okay, so all right, so I'm going to just jump straight into the Metasploit framework here and get started exploiting the vulnerability there. Again, this is less about the vulnerability and the exploitation itself and more about the enumeration of the target host once I gain entry. All right, so start up the PostgreSQL database, combine that with the step to start up the msfconsole. All right. Right. All right. So first things first, I'm going to create a workspace for myself. I'm simply going to name it rejetto. All right. Then I'm going to set our target host as a global parameter here, so I don't have to um, keep configuring that. If I go from module to module, and then let's search for a exploitation tool that targets the rejetto HTTP file server. All right, found our culprit here. So let's say use 0 since that's the only module available to us. All right, and I don't believe there's any configuration I have to do here, so let's just exploit it. All right, look like that's going well. All right, we have our interpreter session here, just waiting for that to load. All right. So now that I have my interpreter session, I'm actually going to have to execute the shell. All right. So I'm gonna have to run these actually using the Windows. These are Windows based commands. All right. So let's say that once I'm in here, a way that we could find out the host name, and we could do all this we could do what I'm showing you now from interpreter, but if I wanted to know just the host name, I would just say host name. All right, so this is our host name. So we can see that an actual host name hasn't been assigned to this target. So it's just basically given whatever the default computer name is. All right, so that's why it kind of looks like a bunch of jumbled up characters together because it's a simple computer name and it hasn't been renamed to any particular a host name. So also, if we let's say all right, I wanted to see display all the operating system information, the build number, hot fixes, and etc. All those different type of all that different type of information. I could just simply do system info. All right, so the first thing we see is one is the network adapter here. So we can see we have an Amazon Elastic network adapter. So more than likely, this is a virtual EC2 instance here. All right, AWS instance. All right, so scrolling up, so all of these KB IDs that we see here, these are actually the patches and hot fixes that have been applied, which is quite a few. And great thing is the great thing that I could do with this when doing any sort of enumeration is that I could copy these, Google them, and see exactly what these particular patches or hot fixes are. And I'm gonna show how I could show too how in here we can get details on that without necessarily having to Google it. All right, but I want to go back up a little bit and just show some things. Oops, went up too far. Scrolling down, back down a little bit more. All right, so we can see again that host name here. So we get some of the same information that I got with the first command here with host name. We have the host name. We have the operating system here. All right, so we can see that it's a Windows Server 2012 revision 2. All right, we can see the OS version is 6.3.96, and of course the manufacturer being Microsoft. And like I said, see register owner EC2. So this proves what I says so that what I was saying based on that network card is that this is definitely a virtual EC2 instance. All right, that's being hosted by the AWS cloud, and we could further see that down here at Amazon EC2, and we have System 32 as far as system directory and then we see the boot device, BIOS. All right, so um, all different type of great information, memory. So depending on what type of information or what we wanted to do next, we could use this information to do some things. Now with these hot fixes, let's say I wanted to know more about some of these hot fixes, right? So a way that I could further enumerate what's going on here is I could say see wmic and then GFE. All right, and then I have to specify caption description. I'm gonna put a space there. Let's see, hotfix ID, and then installed on. All right. So what this is going to do, so this is going to return to me the detailed links, the nature ID, and then the installation data of the hot fixes. All right. So oh, that's not good. CG. Oh, you know what? No, it's not. I goofed up. And I don't have. I got to write that whole thing over again. Got goofed up on one part. Okay, so syntax is important, like I always say. So Q, FE, not GFE. Know what I was thinking when I did that. Description, making sure everything is right here, because apparently this command line here is unforgiving. Okay, let's try that again. Let me see. P where? Where did I say P where expression? Capture hotfix for the alias undefined. See, what did you not like? Ah, okay. Let's try that again. See, this is why sometimes when it comes to longer command lines like this, I have to do a get function. All right. So I mean, yeah, a get request. All right. So that's why sometimes, all right, before I start taping here, I just write this stuff out, experiment with it, and then already have copied down what works before I start taping instead of winging it here. All right, so let's see. Will this do the trick? Yes, it will. All right, that was the trick there. All right, so just scrolling up a little bit here. So basically what we see on the left, these are the links that you could plug in and it will describe the it'll actually describe the update. Let me see. So the ones that we're mainly concerned about is the security update. So we want to find what security updates are actually applied on here, so we have an idea what particular exploits may not work. That they actually have patched up here. What I could do is I could just say open link. Let me see where that opens up here. Okay, I can't. Well, I could do that. Hold on. Let's copy link address, and I'm gonna open it up in another tab. So I believe you should still be able to see my screen here, but looks like they didn't really return back anything. It just took us to a regular Microsoft Microsoft page. Huh. Should have took us straight to where that's to a description of this particular security update. All right, so I don't know. maybe after a certain time they just, I don't know, they just get rid of it. I don't, yeah, I don't know. But the main thing is here, these links are here for us to go and to visit this, to be able to see what exactly are the nature of the security, what nature what of the security update is. And okay, and then we have the hotfix actual ID here. We have the nature of the actual hotfix. All right, where in this case it's a security update. And like I said, that's what we're mainly concerned about, is okay, what updates do they actually have on here? So that may not, that may limit our choices as far as exploitations or further exploitations of this system. All right, and then then we have the installation date. All right, so those are some other details that we can enumerate when it comes to the patches and hot fixes on a target host. All right, so another thing we could do is I could do a Control C, because this is going to be actually on my interpreter. So let's exit out of here. Control C to terminate the channel. So on my interpreter, let's say that I want to see what disk drives are actually on here. I believe I showed this in a previous video, but I just want to show this on here. All right. So remember, this is my interpreter. This is not actually a Windows command. This is actually using my interpreter. So I could say show mount, and it's going to show me all the fixed and removable disks that are attached to here. When I say fixed and removable, think, when you say C drive, think about the hard drive that's installed inside of the machine. And then when I say removable, think of like a USB port or a detachable hard drive. All right, so something more portable. All right, so we can see that obviously I have to be within the C drive here, since it's the only drive available and it's fixed. All right, so remember, this is a capture the flag edition of my show here. All right, so let's go looking for that flag. So if assuming that I'm in the C, I'm in the C drive, which more than likely I am, since there's no other drives, I'm gonna say C um, backslash colon backslash backslash. That's going to put me back into the root of the C drive. All right. So now that I'm in the root, let's see what's in that directory. And bam, there's our flag. All right. Third to last entry here, as far as what's actually in the root directory of the C drive. And so to see what the contents of that is, let's do a cat flag.txt. All right, and I got the flag. All right, so that's the basic. That's some basic system enumeration. All right, so once we actually gain access into our target host after successful exploitation, I just want to show how to further enumerate system details to determine, okay, some next courses of action. So to see, based on the system details, how we could then perhaps escalate our privileges. All right, so on the next episode, I'm going to be showing how we could then enumerate users in groups within our target host. All right, and then ultimately at the end of these sets of videos, I'm going to show how we can first I'm showing how we can manually exploit all of these things, but ultimately I want to show how we could then automate the process of gaining all of this information, all right, by using a particular tool. But first I wanted to go over how to manually obtain these things, just so there's a balance of knowing how to manually obtain details, and how to be more efficient and be more time sensitive when it comes to gathering details and determining, okay, what are our next courses of actions going to be with our exploited target. So please like, subscribe, and share. Most importantly, show your work. Until next time, take care of yourself, and God bless.